videos. Oh, okay. Hi. Um, it's me, of course. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm just here to tell you about my ayahuasca experience. Now, it was just like 2 days ago, basically. I did a whole retreat and I did 4 ceremonies. I thought I could do this without getting emotional. It's hard. Okay. I keep having to take like deep breaths and I don't know. I couldn't even tell you what I went through, but I'm gonna start from the beginning. Um, I've been researching and reading and studying and watching videos and about ayahuasca, and nothing can prepare you for what you're going to go through. Like mentally, you can't even comprehend like what it's like. Um, Sorry, just give me a second. Okay, deep breaths. Um, okay, so um, I've also had experience with psychedelics, LSD, shrooms, and nothing is like ayahuasca. Nothing. I've never had an experience like that in my life. Um, okay, so I went to a place called Soul Quest. It's in Orlando, Florida. And before I tell you about my journey, I just have to give all the accolades to the volunteers and the staff for holding space, for making you feel comfortable, being attentive and selfless, and beautiful people. It was so much love and understanding in that space. I feel like I should have waited because I'm going to be crying the whole video and I should have gotten tissue. I think I have some in my purse. Oh my God. I have a napkin. Thank goodness. So sorry. Uh, okay. Yes, the staffs and volunteers were amazing. And being in that space with all those loving and open people, different religions, different backgrounds, um, a beautiful center. Like, it was really beautiful. I had plenty of nature and a lot of openness to be who you are and to let down your guard and ego so you can be in the right space. So, okay, so I get to the retreat, and I'm taking it in, I'm being open-minded. Mind you, they take your blood pressure and stuff to make sure you're fit and able. Um, there was a 72-year-old person there, and it was beautiful to see. He told me that he didn't have much time to left to, so he had to make sure he got it right. Um, it was just beautiful. Like I I couldn't imagine, like, oh my gosh, I had such an intense journey, like such an intense journey. Okay. I can do this. This is gonna be so long because I can't even get through it. It hasn't even been 6 minutes. Okay, so I get there and I'm taking in the surroundings and the area and the people. And it's like, it's amazing. Um so I get to my, oh yeah, blood pressure, I'm sorry. My blood pressure is normally like so low, like I'm so cool, like, and of course I'm nervous because, you know, I know it's no joke. Like I know it, like I know it's something serious. And so my blood pressure is normally, normal blood pressure is 120/80. Mine is normally like 107/68. So super low. I'm always calm. They took my blood pressure, it was like 144 over something, yeah, I was real nervous, and I guess nervous of the unknown and not knowing what to expect. Um, so they let me in. So I get in there, and basically it's like an opening ceremony, a prayer, to make sure our journeys are safe, and we get what we, not what we want, because ayahuasca doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you need. um I had expectations of, like, just a beautiful journey, being able to speak with ayahuasca and getting questions asked and getting things solved. And I believe it happened, but just not in the way that I expected it to. That's why you shouldn't have any expectations. Um, I Thursday, it was a 4-day weekend, which was beautiful. Normally it's like a 3-day, and the 4-day was really nice because it was Earth Day. So I we're celebrating Earth Day. We ended up planting a lemon tree in the area, in the retreat. Um, I got to choose, like, what area I wanted to go in, and what semi-permanent tent. They have different areas where you can either have, like, uh, air conditioning, or a private little cabin where you can just be by yourself and take in what happened. Um, so I had a semi-permanent. There was about uh, 13 people, give or take, in my semi-permanent like tent. They had all these tapestries, beautiful tapestries. I'm sure of what people saw on ayahuasca, or what they ayahuasca led them to draw or make, and they were beautiful, full of colors and whatnot. Um, so I get there. I'm like, nervous. We get there at 12, and I didn't eat anything because they said they would have snacks, and they did. They had these delicious lettuce wraps. Like, I have no idea what was on here, but it was so good. I had like 4 of them, and I hadn't eaten, so I had 4 of them. And you can't eat after 3 p.m. because you need to, like, basically no eating after 3. The ceremony is at 8 p.m. So basically you have to fast for like 5 hours before you take ayahuasca. And that was fine. It wasn't like too difficult. I was more nervous than anything. And so the ceremony's almost here. And we basically get sage, have Florida water on us, and we had this special kind of rice where we put our intentions, we put it over our hearts, and we put our intentions into it, and then we threw it in the fire. It was beautiful. We did a prayer over the ayahuasca, and again set our intentions into it. I'm sorry. Okay. And we went back to our designated area, so you could be outside by the campfire, or you could be inside. And we drank. We took a deep breath in, and then again breathed out our intentions onto the ayahuasca in a little shot glass. They only give you a tablespoon because it's thick, and it's strong, so it wasn't like a tablespoon. Yeah, so we drink the tablespoon, and it's horrible tasting. It's like licorice, Jaeger, coffee grounds. Oh my god! Like, just thinking about it makes my stomach hurt. Like, it was real bad. So we drink it, and in 2 hours they'll ring the bell for a booster, which is basically if you don't feel anything, or if your journey didn't last too long and you wanted to go back in, you could go ahead and take a booster, which was another tablespoon or whatever. So I take the 1 tablespoon in the beginning, because it's your first time. And if you've done it before, then you could take, you can talk to them and be like, I normally need 3 tablespoons, or blah, blah, blah. So I take my little tablespoon, and it's just nasty, and it's okay. And I can hear people purging. Purging is throwing up or coming out on the other end. And so before I came here, I'm still doing a vegan diet, but it stopped me up. I wasn't as regular as I was supposed to be, so I knew, like, I was full of shit, and that was gonna have to come out. And basically ayahuasca is like detoxing, so I was in the bathroom for like 40 minutes twice that night. And, they kept checking on me. Some people pass out, so they have to make sure you're still okay. And they're like, hey, is everything okay in there? And I'm like, yes, like everything's fine. Like my stomach hurts. I threw up as well, purged, and from the other videos, I could ask ayahuasca what I purged, and if she was talking to you, she would say something back and let you know. So I'm like, what did I purge? What did I purge? And nothing. Silence. And I'm like, Aya, like, where the fuck are you? And nothing. And so, like, I wasn't even a little angry, but like, it was okay. And I hear people like having these journeys, like, this one guy, he's like, oh my God, ooh, like ayahuasca. And it was like, I laughed. A lot of people like, oh, laugh. They laughed at me the last night. Yes, they were. I know they were. They told me. They were like, oh man, they were like, you kept me grounded, like, because I was flying out there, and then I would hear you, and then I would start laughing and get back to the ground. And anyways, so yeah, so I hear people going through their journeys and whatnot, and so I after the booster, nothing. I couldn't even go to sleep. A lot of times, like, people can go to sleep, and I could not. I was up. My stomach was hurting. Like, it was a lot. Um, I had a headache. Uh, it was intense. It was really intense. Like, I couldn't even you can't be mentally prepared for what you're gonna go through. Um, so Friday, I go and get breakfast. I'm like, I'm ready to eat. Like, I was talking about food a lot, so like that's what I do. Cause like my vegan diet was horrible. Like, I didn't have any flavorful stuff, and I knew that they were gonna have some flavor, and whatever they cooked and whatever they made, cause they do this. So, um, yeah, so they were gonna have some flavor, and whatever they did. Let me see. So I got breakfast, and it was like almond milk and cereal, some like multigrain, like, I don't know, vegan toast with some almond butter and some all natural strawberry jelly, and it was good. I threw down like, so good. That's why I probably need to get me some like cereal, so some all natural cereal so I can eat. Oh, okay, sorry. I had to make sure my retainer didn't fall on the floor. Um, so Friday, um, I actually went to sleep a lot. I was tired. I had worked a lot the previous before I came, so I was putting in a lot of hours, and I was tired, and so I went to sleep, and I was hearing everybody's journey and what happened and what was going on. It was interesting. Like, I just I wanted to experience it, and I wasn't. So the second night during ceremony, put my intentions in, and my intentions is to unblock whatever's blocking me from being the best me and heal myself mentally, physically, and emotionally. And I had others, but like, listen, I just needed those kind of solved for me. I had questions and stuff, and anyways, they kept telling me, they're like, even if you don't see anything or uh, feel anything, the medicine is still working. Like, it's still doing what it needs to do to help you. Like, the medicine knows what it's doing. And yeah, just be prepared. So Friday, I take it, and I took 2 tablespoons this time. Uh, and then nothing. So I purged a little bit. I went to the bathroom a little bit. And yeah, I'm like, Aya, what did I purge? What happened? What did I purge? And nothing. And I'm like, Aya, come on. Like, where are you? Like, I started to get frustrated and angry. The basic thoughts came to your mind. Like, I spent all this money and nothing is happening. And I'm wasting my time and all this other stuff. So like stomach ache, headache, like can't sleep. Um, and me hearing everyone else journey around me, you know, not everybody was screaming, but you could hear them purging and 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 laughing and grown men crying like babies in the fetal position. Like it was uh, it was beautiful, but I was jealous. I was, and to hear their stories afterwards, um, I was angry. I was like, maybe I'm too broken to be fixed, or maybe I'm not worthy, you know. And so that's how I felt, and frustrated and angry. And I felt like a little bit of a dark cloud, you know, at the retreat because everyone was like so excited, and like I saw like a lot of people in my tent were first time. Oh, I'm sorry, a leg. A lot of the people, that was their first time working with the medicine, like me. So like I've never worked with ayahuasca before that, and they were just having amazing journeys. And they're looking at me like, what? You took two and a booster Friday. Like, so I took 3 tablespoons, and people were just out of their mind on 1 tablespoon. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, this is the time I want to be like everybody else. I want to have a journey. I want to, uh, yeah, I want to have a journey. I need you, I need to experience this. And so Friday night. Yeah, that's what nothing again. Saturday morning, I was like, I did the day ceremony too. I could take this off, but anyways, day ceremony comes, and I'm like, today is the last day. Like a day ceremony and a night ceremony, and that's it. And I would talk to people, and some of the staff were like, yeah, it took me like 3 weekends to actually feel something and to actually go into a journey. And I'm like, oh my God, like I don't have that kind of money. I don't have that kind of money. Like I can't afford 3 weekends. I have stuff I need to do and things I need to solve right now. And so Saturday morning, I took 3 tablespoons. They didn't have a booster, so I'm like, I'm just gonna take 3 tablespoons. And nothing. Like, I've been in altered states with psychedelics, so I know like how it feels to be in an altered state. It's not like I've never done psychedelics, so I knew I wasn't feeling anything. But they're like, the medicine is still working on you, like it really is. And so the daytime ceremony was beautiful, wonderful music, and I'm just like, after a while, I just wanted to watch the people have their journey, and you know, I guess enjoy the ambiance and energy. And so later that night, like people are like, "Hey, and did you journey?" Like I'm like, "How was your journey?" And I'm like inside, I'm like, I hope they don't ask me how my journey was. And like I could feel getting emotional, you know. And they would be like, "What? Like how many tablespoons did you take?" 3. Like, oh my god. Like nothing. You felt nothing. I'm like, no, I felt nothing. Um, Let me see. Even though I purged a Saturday night, um, I had lost hope. Everybody was saying like, "This is gonna be your night." Like I know it. This is it. You're gonna have a journey. I didn't believe him. Like, yeah, okay. If you say so. Like I didn't believe anything. Like no. I mean, I didn't. I was like, maybe the medicine just doesn't work on me. So I was like, this is it. I'm gonna go big or go home. And I went up there and I was like, let me get 5. And he was like, no. He's like, start with 4 tablespoons. And then like we'll check on you in an hour. And if you need more, we'll be there. And then the booster. So I was like, okay. And like the smell, like thinking about taking that tea again, it's just, oh, my stomach. Like it was like if you like had a really bad hangover on vodka and like you smell vodka and you're like, you just want to throw up. And it was so hard to get those 4 tablespoons down. Oh, and my throat was hurting from purging, even though I didn't even purge that much. Um, wow, we're at 27 minutes. I'm almost done. Um, so, uh, Carlos, he actually gave me a special prayer. Um, you know, special prayer, and I took it. And then I started to purge. And then I knew it was happening. And I'm like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. And like, it felt like my legs got heavy. My feet started to get heavy and I couldn't move. I knew it was like I was being paralyzed. And I'm like, let me try and get in a comfortable position before this happens. And I felt it like go coming all the way to my all the way to my head. And I closed my eyes. And everything is like it was like a movie set, but like a busy one. And everything, like it wasn't even people, it was like entities, like they're moving stuff around. And I'm like, well, like a movie set, like ladders, whatever. I don't know what they're moving. And so I'm like, wow, like they're probably moving stuff in my brain. Like this doesn't belong here. This needs to be here. This They were handling business. And so like uh I just I don't even know what happened. Like uh I know like started purging again. And then I saw like the universe. And everything just, I felt like an overloaded computer. Like everything just was coming so fast and I couldn't even understand it. And I'm like, this is too much. Like I can't even dissect. I can't even comprehend what's going on. Like it was overwhelming. It wasn't scary. It was overwhelming, and it was a lot. I took too much, and I will never take that much again ever. A lot of people that can control a little bit their journey and ask questions and come in and come out. I was out of control. Um, I was out of control. I couldn't control anything. And like, so I'm flailing and, I don't know what's happening. And I can hear somebody whisper, like, hey, do you need it? I'm like, yes, lemon, please. Like, lemon and salt helps bring you down from your trip a little bit, your journey. It's not even a trip. Like, I've never experienced anything like that in my life. So, and it didn't even seem like hours, thank goodness. I just remember purging so much and everything going in circles and just like rough, violent purging. Like, I couldn't even ask, so what did I purge? Like, I couldn't think. It was a lot. Like, you can't even explain it. So, I remember somebody holding my hand and they're like bringing the lemon and they're like I feel the salt and they're like, no, bite down, bite down. And so like I could still like understand a little bit. Like that was all I heard. And I bite down and it feels like I saw the Big Bang, right? So things exploded and I felt this energy like explode. And then I everything was black and so peaceful. I've never felt that calm and peace. Like it's undescribable. Nothingness. Somebody was saying like, monks afterwards. They were like, monks meditate 5 hours a day to get to that nothingness, that clearness. It was just silence and peace. And so, I just, yeah. So I opened my eyes and I'm on the ground, dirt on my face. Like I don't even being I don't even remember being moved from the tent area. Um, yeah, all my little white dress, leaves, everything on it. But I opened my eyes. Well, kind of opened my eyes, and then it was like I was breathing for the first time. Like I forgot how to breathe. And the people were right there next to me. And they were like, breathe. Don't forget to breathe. And they're whispering. And then I spit up some stuff, and they had the bucket right there waiting on me. They're like, spit it all out. Spit it all out. There you go. And breathe. And I was back. It didn't feel like hours, thank goodness. That was intense. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. It was like a rebirth. I was definitely born again. I had an ego death. Like, she definitely worked on me. Um, yeah, so event they're like, do you need water, snacks? Like they had these little um sweet potato chips. Oh my god, so good. But they got me snacks and they were like, do you want to go back in? Oh no. It was cold. And I'm like, I raised my hand and they're like, they come to me. I'm like, please, please, blankets. And he's like, okay, we'll get you some blankets, but there's a mattress right here. And I'm like, oh, and he's like, I know, it seems far away, like it's gonna be, but you can do it and it'll feel so much comfortable. Let's just try and get to the mat. And it was literally like a foot away. And I eventually get on the mat. I get up after a while to use the bathroom. He brings me blankets, and the music is still going, and I could still hear people purging in the background. So I'm like, yeah, like I can go back into the tent, and I could not sleep. I could not go to sleep. I just was thinking, like, what the hell just happened to me? It was crazy. Um, I can't even comprehend or dissect all that went on, but I do. I feel good, and like I can think about things that would make me sad, like my friend dying, and I don't feel sad. You know, I don't feel sad anymore. I can think about my dog, and I don't feel sad anymore. I feel like I've been reset. So, yeah, so that morning, everyone's waking up, and they were like, oh my God. They're like looking at me and they're like, dude, you had to have like 5 men on you, like to just, they weren't like holding me down, but they were making sure I didn't roll on anybody or didn't roll into the fire or, whatever. Like making sure I was safe. One of my tent mates was like, you ran into the woods. I was like, what? He was like, you were out of here. You were gone. Like, I don't run, period. That doesn't sound like me, okay? I don't like running. But apparently I ran into the woods and I was just like flailing and one of the girls, um, she was just like, I mean, one thing is that I felt people wanted me to have a journey. And I felt that. And they were hoping and praying for me to have a journey. And it was beautiful. And the rice in the beginning where you put your intentions in. One guy who I was in the tent with, he told me, he was like, one of my intentions, he was like, I asked that you have a journey tonight. And that meant so much to me. Just going out of your way to put intentions for me. It meant a lot. Selfless. happen. Now, like, I just feel like a lot of emotions. Uh, a lot of emotions. And I'm just trying to process whatever I can process because I don't even like, yeah, I think my brain was like, oh wow, she cannot handle this right now. And I knew what she was doing because if that would have happened like Thursday or so, like I don't even know, like if I would have been there. A lot of people left. Either they got what they needed or they couldn't handle it. And I understand it's a lot. Like the sleep deprivation, the stomach, like it was torture. And I'm like, why am I torturing myself like this? And like people come in, some people were there January and they were like, I had just called me back and like I can't imagine going there 5 months from now. Oh my God. Maybe like in a year and a half, I can go again. And wow, it was just amazing. The community, the people, I didn't want to leave. Yeah, I didn't want to leave. Um, Even after I was done, I was like, thank you, Aya. Thank you so much for showing me. Like, even though it was overwhelming, I still appreciate it. Like, I could have never imagined anything like that. Um, yeah, so one of the girls were like, uh, your energy. You just had so much energy. Like, I couldn't, like, I forgot what she said. Like, I couldn't understand or, like, I don't know. But basically, she was like, I saw that energy last night. Like, it was, it was a lot. Um, but yeah, that was my journey, and maybe I'll do another video about how I feel afterwards. It's only been like 2 days, so I'm really trying to comprehend what I just went through. And thank you for listening. If Aya calls you, go for it. I'm gonna go again. It's just gonna be a while because that was crazy. Um, Thank you so much, Soul Quest. Thank you so much, Ayahuasca. Thank you for the people who were rooting for me. And that's it for now. Hopefully, I'll see you guys in a few weeks. All right. Later.